Life in the Philippines. I'm a member of a few different expat groups, mostly men. And I don't know, maybe half the time they're complaining about something. And a lot, it's either about the women being dishonest or it's about the men being incompetent. Like you say, oh, I need this part, and they give you something else. And I saw a guy do it. He said that the client wanted an SUV with 3 rows so that they could look out either window. And he told them yes, but he had no intentions of doing that. He was just going to expect them to come up and take whatever they get. That's their attitude. So in the expat forums, people are always saying bad things, and the responses are never helpful. It's always, if you don't like it here, go back to where you came from. It's like I said, you can't trust Filipinos with money. If you give them money, you're never going to get that money back. Even if they say they're going to pay you back, you're not going to get it back. And they always say, why are you here if you don't like not getting your money back from 3 different Filipinos? And I responded, my criteria for whether I stay or leave is not based on whether or not I can trust loaning money to someone. So another example, when I came and said, does anybody know where I can go hiking? The responses were, why would you want to go hiking? Why would you want to go hiking? It ends up a few years later, I discovered there's a hiking club for expats, and nobody told me. I saw someone tell someone else. If you ask about your visa, they don't know any of the laws. So they'll always say, hey, you can't work here and you can't stay past your visa. Both are not true. Do you have a legitimate reason, like funeral or typhoon? There's no electricity, airport's closed. Um, you can stay past the visa. You just file the paperwork, you pay the fine. Or another one is people want to work. Say, hey, you can't. Yeah, actually, you can. You can create your own business, make yourself an employee. It's a little expensive, but if you're going to stay for 2 years, it's worth it. But it ends up there's a work permit. They have a 2 month and they have a 3 month. So these people just don't know. I find all this stuff researching it. So another one is, what happens if you don't have the money to pay your fees when you leave? It ends up that you can contact them and show them your finances and they'll let you leave. And you can't return until you pay off what you owe. But the people in the forums, the foreigners, talking about like Americans, British, Australian, they don't know what they're talking about. And they all have negative attitudes. And whenever someone posts something, they attack the person. They'll say, we've heard this too many times from other people. Or they'll say, if you don't like it here, then go back. If you don't like the flavor of ice cream at your local ice cream shop because they don't have pistachio, why don't you go back to your country? If you don't like that your girlfriend stole 700,000 euros and she and her family left, go back to your country. It's like every solution to them is the ultimate just get out of here. They all have bad attitudes. And I'm shocked at the way people talk to each other, except for the fact that I've met the foreigners. And when you meet them, you're not so shocked. A lot of them are crazy because this country is one of the easiest ones to go to. So all the crazy people come here. The people who don't have good jobs end up here. The people who retire early because they have like a mental disability, mental disorder, like or drug addicts and alcoholics, they come here to save money and live off a small amount of money, and they set a bad precedent with the locals. I do want to say I once asked a woman, what country do you hate? And she said, America. I said, why? She said, because Americans occupied the Philippines. And I said to her, America liberated the Philippines from the Japanese who were occupying the Philippines. They hate America. And when I was in Lapu-Lapu, they acted like they hated Americans. The government says, we repelled foreign invasion when 20 Portuguese sailors landed on Lapu-Lapu. It's stupid. Their ship broke down. That's the precursor to the invasion. So, I don't remember what this video was about. Oh, it's about the forums. The people that run the forums have been doing it for a long time. Some of them have bad attitudes too. If they don't like your problem, they just delete it. And if you say something like, I overstayed my visa, what do? They will delete your post because what you did was illegal. Well, it's not really illegal because it's civil. It's a civil violation. And the guy's asking you for help to resolve it. He's not saying, I overstayed my visa and I want to continue overstaying. What should I do to evade immigration? No, what he said was, what do I do to fix this? And I wanted to tell the guy, file this form with the immigration, and they'll make you pay the fine, and they'll either tell you you can stay or you can leave, and that's it. The other thing is you can't trust. Like if someone says, "Oh, we're gonna do a get together," they might not show up. And I've done that before, where a bunch of guys will say, "We're gonna do a get together," and then I would get there and they don't show up, and then maybe they show up an hour later when I'm on my way out, and they all know each other. It's a clique. So, as an example, with the motorcycle club, they said we're going to meet at the Shell gas station. I was like, which Shell gas station? There's got to be like 50 Shell gas stations. Oh, the one in Talisai. Yeah, but there's 5 in Talisai. Oh, the one by the fast food place. Look, dude, you got to give me more exact information than that. And the Filipinos do the same thing. I know it's not about expats. I went to a cafe, walked in. What food do you sell? We have coffee, milk tea, iced tea, hot chocolate, water, soda, juice, and snacks. And I was like, I wanted to say this to this guy. You're a stupid Filipino. I wanted to say this to him. And I admit, I was rude to him. And I said, I'm going to ask you again, what food do you sell? And he said, I'm going to answer you again. Cake, pastry, and cookies. And I was like, you did not say that when I asked you the first time. That was like the 5th time I asked him. They're crazy. I came in and said, do you have a menu? And he said, we'll have it tonight. So, well, can you tell me what's on? Can you show me a menu? He says, no. You have to come back tomorrow. Can you tell me what's on the menu? No. We're going to have food. No, he said, we're going to have drinks and food. So can you tell me what type of food you're going to have? Coffee, milk tea, iced tea, hot chocolate, milk, water, orange juice, avocado juice, and snacks. And when I walked in, I knew this guy was going to be an ass because I walked in, I'm looking around confused because there's employees there, but the chairs are all like piled in the corner. And the guy's looking at me like he's angry that I walked in. He's more like this. That's the look, like he's giving me this stern, like, how dare you walk into my restaurant? And I look around, nobody says anything to me. They're literally like one woman's arm length from me. The counter's here, and there's a guy behind the counter, and there's another guy there within pastry throw of hitting him, my time's over. They don't say anything.